there's a nigga mentality that's inside of the black man. If he took that out and thought more righteous, he'll be a totally different person. Because the nigga mentality that's in the black man is more selfish. Just like how you said, you know what I'm saying? You're saying like it's all about them. They want to ram your cervix. They don't even want to eat the pussy. They ain't even worried about how the girl feel. They just trying to bam, bam, bam until they bust a nut. And after they do that, they want to go kick it with their niggas or some shit like that. Right? That's the nigga mentality. A black man without it is like totally different.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it's like sometimes you have to I mean that's what I'm doing on my case studies now. And sometimes you have to be able to figure out the righteous mind or the unrighteous mind. You gotta be able to figure that out in each individual, especially in the black culture too. Like in any culture, but if you especially in the black culture, it's really, really rampant with a lot of unrighteousness. Like you know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why black people can't really like rise to me because the black male is so selfish.
But I feel like that's all systematic, because it started way before, back even before slavery.
Mm.
That concept of, you know, lower than, you're less than, you're this, you're
Mm.
that, right? While the cycle of abuse continues to go on. And I
Okay.
say abuse in this sense because it is abuse, not allowing people to really give them the opportunity. If you see in a lot of like barrios and ghettos, you see this cycle of abuse. You see the constant need to basically be defensive. It's always a defensive tactic.
On
You
who? Who's
know,
defensive on who though?
defensive on outside sources,
Okay. Okay.
okay, and defensive for themselves as well.
Mm.
They're defending their right in a sense because if you think about it, no matter what, they're raised in a certain type of manner. If you see the cycle of abuse not only with the places that they're given to live, the resources they're given, the jobs that they're denied, the college that they're denied, you know, even small
They're
things.
not denied all that though.
In a lot of
Okay. Okay.
communities,
Let me
they
ask you.
are.
Okay. Let me ask you. When we look at communities, right? If I interrupt you, just to include, right?
That's
You know what
fine.
I'm saying?
That's fine.
We look at communities. If we look at the projects, right?
Right.
A lot of projects, like a lot of the ghettos, a lot of those black people made them into ghettos. And I'm gonna tell you this: when I look at some projects like in Chicago and St. Louis, some of them I've been in, in Milwaukee, at some point they were new. They didn't build them worn down like they were new. And who stayed in them first? White people stayed in them first. Way back in the day. That's why all the projects are usually around like the downtown area or some shit because that used to be the business district back in the day. And when they had the whole integration shit and everything, like white people weren't trying to fuck with black people. They didn't want to be around them and shit. So that's when they moved out to the suburbs and they gave black people that housing with the welfare system. Once all those black people got together in that one setting, they trashed that place. Dude. They trashed that environment. They made that environment the way it is. Dude. Like you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because at some point you have to understand it was new at some point.
Right, but that type of, that kind of like destroying, like, their neighborhoods and stuff like that, that is part of the entire systematic thing. Because realistically, what a white person might have, such as they might have a better paying job, they might have better schooling, better daycare. People don't always have access to that. So their kids stay at home sometimes with their older kids. So then the kids are playing outside and stuff like that, tearing up the grass. It also has to do with, what kind of people are you hanging around and associating. When you live in a ghetto, you're associating with the people that live in the ghetto. Even if say one person moved in after all the other ones, those people had already been there. So you're moving in to an area just like at my job. That store, when it was new, okay,
Okay.
was a nice store. If
Right.
you see the pictures, it was a really nice store.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
now it's trash.
Right.
Just a few years after that,
Mm-hmm.
because what happened is that it's the people that live around there. It is, basically in the ghetto if you look, right? But if you've also noticed, right, it also has to do with gentrification. It has to do with, basically, like you said, the white people lived there first. So basically, it was like a throwaway. It was a
No, not
trash.
no, no, wait, wait. You can't say it's a throwaway because they left it. The white people didn't leave it to them
No,
trashed.
I know that,
Okay,
but it
they
was
gave him a
basically,
good spot.
a handout. Like you said,
Mm,
in the welfare, right? You
right.
said it's a welfare, right?
Mm,
Just like, say you go and you build up nice houses and whatnot, but when they feel like they're not getting the upper hand in that sense, It's
What's the
like,
upper hand mean? What do you mean by that?
like they're not getting first choice. They're
Okay.
not getting the first class. They're not getting this. They're not getting that. Even if they do destroy it, the fact of the matter is that they still felt that they weren't the first option.
But why do they destroy it?
I'm not sure.
That starts with that's a part of the problem right there. You have to understand, like, if white people say, I don't want to be around you for whatever fucking reason it is, right? I don't want color, whatever. I don't want to be around you, but I'm gonna abandon my neighborhood, my community, to go somewhere further, way out, that suburb's always way out somewhere, right? Way out somewhere, so you cannot even be around me, right? And I'm gonna give this to you. Then, what mentality of a person would destroy that new property?
Well, when I was raised, I was raised around racist parents, and they always used to say that oh, black people destroy everything they have, and I thought it was a racist thing. I never thought that it was.
Is that a truthful observation, though, based on evidence?
It is a truthful observation,
right.
But I still think that there are a lot of racist connotations behind it, because it's like, not, and I'm not saying, I don't want to say black people, because it's not just black people. It's also in the barrios as well, which are Hispanically based communities. They are destroyed as well. It also has a lot to do with, with like human geography. It talks about that stuff. It talks about how you could go to a community and it'd be dirty as hell, and then 10 feet out, nice houses.
Right.
Houses.
Right over there by the store, right? You got them houses over there, right?
But that's gentrification.
But okay, let me ask you this. Because you mentioned gentrification before. What is wrong with that? I mean, what is your definition of gentrification?
Okay, gentrification is when they try to move these nice houses into ghettos and force out people that have been living there for years. So what they'll try to do is, say, near my job, those 3 houses there. Right. Those houses are nice houses. They don't belong in that fucking neighborhood.
Right, I know. I see.
And everyone that's going into those houses are white people.
Okay.
There are no people, because they're nearly $500,000.
Right.
Even though they're in the neighborhood that they're in, they're so expensive.
Right.
So what they're going to do is, the people that are buying up there, or the people that are going and putting those houses there, are going to go around the neighborhood, and they're going to offer people that have no money or have low income to buy their house, and they're gonna take it, because you're offering them money for something that they probably don't want, and they're thinking that they'll end up getting a better deal. But what's going to happen is, they're going to try and turn it into an upscale neighborhood with low-class people. You can't do that. Those houses will be trashed, just like you said.
Right. But they're not going to give it to low-class people. But
the reality is that people are going to break into them. They're going to try and steal whatever the fuck's in there. They got broken into the other night. I saw the cops out there. So all those houses that are on that road, even if they don't take them out and put new houses, they're still going to try and renovate those houses that are there and push those people out. And then they're stuck going somewhere in another low-class community.
Okay. Let me include this. Don't mean to interrupt you. Whoever is involved with the process of gentrification, right? Is it cool to go to a neighborhood that's bad and try to change it and make it good?
It's one thing to change what's already there.
Right.
To change the people that are there is another thing,
But you have to change the mindset of the people.
But you can't.
Right. So what do you do then? You have to move the people out there.
But you're moving them to another location for them to make that trash as well. You're not doing anything really except pushing the people out of their homes. If, say, for example, like, you went to Southside Chicago, and you go and decide that you're gonna, go and buy up all those neighborhoods or all those houses. I'm not sure if you've seen Shameless.
No.
They talk about that in there. Basically, they live on the south side of Chicago. People come and try and buy their house. If people refused, say that everybody on that block near my job refuses, they're not going to do it. They won't have any other option.
But they're mostly renting them, though. They're not owning them houses. A lot of them.
Most of them are. I know a lot of people that live there and they own the house.
They own the houses, like right over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know at least 2 or 3 people that live over there.
Okay.
And you will see that even just those 3 nice houses, it's already raised the price in this neighborhood. So people that live there will not be able to afford to live there because they raised the prices.
Well, if they own the house, then they don't even have to worry about what they just got to pay property tax, right?
Mortgage.
Mortgage, property tax. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not going to go up.
Yes, it will.
Think so?
Mortgage goes up. Do you think that people of color will have different opportunities?
They have them now.
Not really.
Yes, they do.
They do have some opportunities.
Okay, we got to define what opportunities are.
Okay, so I'm talking about going to college.
They can get to college
without having to have their parents sign, without having to take out a shit ton of loans, without having to pay, semester by semester, which is outrageously fucking expensive.
So the only thing would probably be wrong about the education is black people have to follow a different criteria than white people to get in. And a lot of times the different criteria is to help white people get into college. You know what I'm saying?
That's not personally been my experience. And realistically, right, I went to USF.
Right, okay.
And USF is a majority of Indians or Middle Eastern guys, okay? And then there's Middle Eastern women, which is also a very high rate. Then there's a high rate of white people. There is not a high rate of Hispanics, and there is not a high rate of black people. And that's the truth. And the black people that do complete college, I mean, really go through and complete college, had a different opportunity than most people. They had either a parent who had money, they had either two parents who had money, both educated, which is the cycle. If you take someone from a ghetto who has two degenerate parents and you birth out a son, okay, your son is most likely not going to be able to go to college.
But check this out though. But isn't that the college system's fault?
No, they don't. It doesn't act like that. They say that it does, but it doesn't.
Okay, what I'm saying is that okay, I'm a college institution, so I provide education for all these different things, right? All these different majors. Whatever your family structure is, whatever your family is, or whatever like that, that is not my fault. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you have one parent or two parents or whatever like that, that's not my fault. Like, I'll have no part of that. I think a lot of the responsibility is not being what's wrong? Okay. A lot of, you know what I'm saying, a lot of a lot of responsibilities is not being put on the black family to raise productive children. Because we have to still go back to this. The family is the first school of instruction. This is before you even get to the environment. You're born, you're in the house, you're being taught family values or whatever the family is. If the black woman is picking a certain type of dude and that dude abandons his kid, that is the black woman's fault in her bad decision making. Because that black woman pretty much knew what that dude was and shit when she started fucking with dude. The only thing that happens is the black woman is not looking, she's looking for somebody for herself and not a father for a child. Like, she wants somebody that's going to love her and be with her, but she's not looking at it as including him as being a good father to a kid that they create.
But he must not have loved her or cared for her enough if he was willing to leave when she got pregnant.
But that's the problem. Hold on, wait. Now I'm speaking from the black culture part, right? But that's the problem, and that's where we go back to the nigga mentality thing like that too. Is that black women don't test their dudes and what they say, right? They really take it for what it is out the dude mouth, because we got the nigga mentality. You kind of slick. You've been talking for a while. You know how to get girls, all that type of shit. So dudes really be lying and shit a lot of the times, right? So the problem is that the black woman believes it without testing the dude. She gives her body to him, let him go in her raw, all that type of shit, because he's making her believe that if she does get pregnant, that he's going to be there.
But that's not just the nigga mentality. That's white people too. In my personal experience, guys will do anything, and I feel like that's a feminine masculine issue, not a color issue, because realistically speaking, guys will have sex with anyone who has sex with them. They do not fucking care. And there is no...
You got to separate them, though. You got to separate the righteous from the unrighteous.
But the thing is, right, is that...
Because not all guys do it.
But most do. If you look statistically, you could go and meet a guy, okay? You go and meet a guy out on the street, and y'all hit it off. You don't even sleep with him the first date. You don't sleep with him till 3 or 4 dates, 5 dates. You're not putting out, right? They're going to stick around. They're going to tell you what you want to fucking hear. And then after they get what they want, they're going to hit the door running because they got what they wanted. Guys have the legs to make things go if they actually put in the work.
Right.
if they didn't fucking lie, if they didn't have sex, right? So a guy will have unprotected sex with a woman, and they don't think about the energy that goes into that. Not just, energy wise, but spiritual energy as well. When you have sex with someone, there is a connection of energy, whether or not, because we're all energy, we're all poles of energy.
Right.
And the pole of energy goes straight through the earth. You're connected to that. And then when you're having sex, especially unprotected sex, you are creating a bond with them in a way. And whether or not that bond is right for the guy is going to determine whether or not he's going to stay. Because guys aren't going to stay if you're not having sex with them. Like, most of the time, that's not going to fucking happen. Like, if you're with somebody who's asexual, maybe. But most of the time, they want to have a sexual relationship. And if you're not willing to give them a sexual relationship, they will find somebody else who will.
Okay.
So, over the time, you see that the mentality runs based on what we're taught. Okay? Every day in culture and media, you see sexualization of women. You see that women are.
Is it by choice or by force?
I want to say that it's a little of both. We have allowed this to be acceptable. We've allowed it to be acceptable to treat women as sexual.
But check it out. But check it out though. When we look at the sexualization or whatever like that, I feel like women. When I was talking to you about the sexuality in the women, right? I feel like women dress a certain kind of way, and women like to wear her clothes because it empowers them. It makes them feel good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Girls be putting these clothes on themselves, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? When they put the short skirt on, when they go to the club, all that type of shit, they do that themselves.
Not in media, they don't.
I don't know, man. If you catch some of them girls, like, okay, if you look at pretty much any of them girls on there, right, on that wall, right?
They chose to go into the field, right? I understand that.
But I'm saying outside of the field.
But
in their personal life, they probably still are going to want to buy lingerie shit. They still going to want to go to the club and look sensual, look sexy, look pretty.
What's wrong with wait? Go back. What is wrong with wearing lingerie?
Nothing.
Okay. Second of all, say this girl here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This is for the man. This isn't for a woman. A woman doesn't look at this. They're selling a fucking necklace.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
They're not selling her boobs. They're selling a necklace.
But check it out.
Why is she naked?
But check this out, though.
Sex sells.
But right, exactly. The reason why Kate Moss is able to do that shit right there is because Kate Moss understands what her sensuality is. That's why that ad is so powerful. That's why a photographer, because I'm a photographer, right? So when I look at that picture, she is using her sensuality that's inside her soul to be able to sell that product for somebody and to get paid off of it. If she didn't have that inside her soul, she would not be able to take a picture like that to make it so convincing to buy that shit. They have that women have that in their soul already. You know what I'm saying? You can't pull sensuality out of something that's not there and shit. Like, it's already there.
But you can build that up though. And it's more about, it's not even just like that though. It's about alcohol ads. It's in everything. But the thing is when you think about it, right? If it wasn't for a fucking woman, nobody would be on this goddamn fucking earth.
Okay.
So, realistically speaking, you could sexualize a woman all you want.
Right.
But when she's sexualized so long, she's going to see herself as an object. She's going to see herself, I'm not good enough. Because you sexualized her so long that she feels like she's only sex. And that's from personal experience.
Right.
So I'm telling you, okay, I'm a strong fucking woman.
Right.
I don't fucking take shit. I'm not in a relationship because I'm not going to settle. I'm not weak in that sense.
Right.
But, ever since I was young, ever since I was a kid, after being sexually assaulted, I slept around a lot. And for so long, I saw myself, guys only want sex. They only want sex. They only want sex, right? So when someone comes over and they want to just hang out, that makes me feel like, what the fuck? Like, why don't you want me? And it's not because I'm insecure or anything like that. It has to do with having that repetition of sexualization. You have sex with somebody so many times, or somebody has sex so many times, and they start to, okay, why wasn't I good enough for a relationship, but I'm not good enough, but I'm good enough for sex. And so you start to change your mentality in that sense. And it isn't about, you know, like I said, it's not about disrespect or, you know, no body image or whatever, because when it comes down to it, I'm going to have the legs to figure out what the fuck, you know, who I'm going to be with. Like, I'm going to pick a husband. I'm not going to pick a, you know, some bum that comes up in the fucking job. Like, it's a different mentality, but it doesn't mean that it makes me feel any different when I hang out with somebody and they don't want to have sex. Like, and it's not that I want them to have sex or I'll try and pressure them into doing anything. It'll just feel like a sting in that sense when it's not really a sting because it wasn't meant that way in the first place. You know, so these women, like, yes, they go into the field just like strippers, but just because someone strips and takes off their clothes, that sex work is valid. Stripping is valid. Those jobs are here for a reason. Yes, they're here to idealize a man, but the fact is that
not necessarily. Hold on, wait. It can also be to empower the woman because okay, check this out. Okay, let's go to strippers. Right, let's go to strippers. Stripping is not that easy as people think it is. It takes a lot of courage for a woman to get naked, to move that way, and she's moving that way because she has sensuality in her. She has the power of sensuality. See, that's the thing with females. They don't understand what that power is to use it to their advantage. Instead, because, okay, when you meet a man, or anybody meet any female meet a man, he is drawn to that shit in a female, right? He sees it. That's why he pursues it, because he can feel that energy and shit. Like something is in her. Like I want to fuck with her. Like, you know what I mean? I want to have sex with her, whatever. Because he feels that power in that woman. That's why he wants to be able to take the power and make himself feel good as well and shit like that. Whether he's selfish or not, it's an attraction to that female. If she never had that, then he wouldn't be attracted to her like that. So women have it, but they never been taught how to use it to their advantage, man, for themselves and shit. They always been victimized behind it.
When it comes to strippers, though, okay, I know a lot of strippers. Okay. And my one friend used to be a stripper because she had to be. She needed to make money, and she had to pay her college tuition, whatever. Right. And so she would strip, but she was also a feminist. So when people would try and touch her, it made her feel disgusting. Right, but she did it because she had to. Right. Just like porn, you know, women want money. Right. They're not sleeping with all these men because they want to, but sex sells. That's the reality. But would that be a reality if society didn't say it was? If society said, okay, you know what? We're equal, you know? There's no need, you know, whatever. But when it's not like that, especially not for strippers and stuff, especially because, like, you know, the rate of being sexually assaulted for a stripper is significantly higher. Right. But we aren't going to go and blame the stripper for a man's actions. Just because she was up there stripping naked doesn't mean she deserved to be sexually assaulted. Right. Exactly. So, it's more about a balance. If there is no balance where men understand that women, yes, they have bodies and stuff. Our tits were not made for them. Our tits were made for a child. Right. Not only that, but a vagina, right? If you go and you ask any Christian, or deep Christian, having sex is only for reproduction. Right. Which is true. But at the same time, no, they wouldn't have made it pleasurable if they didn't want us to do it. So it's a balance. It's pleasurable because it makes you keep going back to make more children. Yeah, but it's not pleasurable for the animal kingdom, and they do it more than us. Right, but that's animal kingdom is different from human beings, though. No, it's not. Right, yeah, I'm not the same as a caterpillar. Caterpillars don't have sex. Well, whatever. Give me give me an insect that has sex. Insects. Insects don't have sex. They don't. Most of them don't. Yeah, man. It's all mostly eggs. So they reproduce the eggs themselves. Yes, most of them turn. Like spiders and shit, they fertilize. Fertilize the egg. And then the woman kills the man. Not all of them. Yes, most of them do. Okay. The bigger woman kills the smaller man. That's mostly in the widows, but widows aren't the only ones who do it. But when an insect or has sex with a partner, you know, they have a fuck ton of babies at a fucking time. Okay, one of those little pouches has fucking 10,000 spiders. Right. They only had sex one time. Right. Okay, most of those spiders will survive. So, in that sense, they don't gotta keep going back that frequently because they already have them. But in human beings, it's just one. You just get one at a time or two, or you might get triples, whatever like that, depending on what
what happens with the explosion, like with the sperm and the egg or whatever.
One at a time, right?
Right. So we're just different on that end.
I feel like the drive for sex is different than the drive for reproduction, because you could go and be like, "Fuck, I want to fuck a bad bitch tonight." Go pick up some bitch and go fuck her, and if she
it is for reproduction in the man, but check it out. Okay. We typically, when we see a dude, right, and if you got the dude, just say you go out with a dude, and just say you can step out your body, right? Just say you can step out your body and just watch you. Like if you step out your body right now and just watch what's going on, and you can just act, you just let the man lead the night. He's gonna lead it to a bed or somewhere he can fuck that girl. Like it's gonna probably happen. If he was in control of it, right? That's probably gonna happen.
I'm not denying.
Right, okay. So the thing is, when he getting ready to have sex with that girl, he is gonna go in that girl raw if she don't have no problem with it. He is gonna take that chance. Like he wouldn't have to. He gonna say some shit like, "You clean, right?" Or she could be dirty as fuck and just say like.
But here's the thing. That's another thing. One second, okay?
Okay.
Clean, dirty. I don't like those words.
Okay.
Because I think that having an STI does not mean that you're dirty.
Okay.
It's an infection. Just like you go and get a virus, you go and get COVID.
Right.
You're not dirty. You got COVID.
No, I'm just telling you what a man would probably say.
No, that's the nigga mentality though.
Right.
I just wanna anyway.
Right. So he gonna be like, he gonna ask that question to that woman, and women can tell him like, yeah, she could have an infection, or don't even know if she have an infection. The man is not even gonna take responsibility for his own body to protect himself because of the sex, right?
Right.
So he goes and he has sex, and if the woman say like, oh, you don't have to wear a condom or whatever like that, that dude ain't wearing no condom. It's not gonna happen, though. He gonna be like, fuck that condom. like some people would be like, it depends on what the woman kind of like say, man. If the girl is attractive enough and she seems like she ain't probably don't have nothing, seems like it, she could probably convince the dude to go in her raw, right? So he's gonna go in her raw, and if she's like, and if he fucking her and she moaning whatever, and she's like, come inside me, grab his butt cheeks or whatever like that, he nutting inside that girl, though. It's over, though, right?
Period.
It's a done deal, dog, right?
Yeah.
So that girl is really in control of a lot of stuff, dog. She really took the man and did what she wanted with him do.
Because they're weak.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you look at that too. But it's just still, it's like the man knows that he's supposed to pull out, but he don't want to pull out because it's probably his nature to be able to create children, right? You know what I'm saying?
I think they're doing it because they want to bust a nut inside a pussy. If you busted a nut,
but they know what the consequences is, right? Yeah. Do they know what the consequences is though? When they know. Yeah. Wait. Okay, let's say it like this. This is what I say about the power of a woman with her sensuality and sex. Is the man under some type of spell in his brain, like in your fantasy world or some shit, that he not like he lose all sense of like reality to a certain degree? Like, hey, like I want to nut in this girl, but I'm not looking at the consequences of what's going to happen. Like, she could get pregnant. That's why when a girl pop up, like, a few weeks later, be like, oh, I'm pregnant. He'd be like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, he got to get his right mind in and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because there is that loss of thought. Just like when a girl is having sex, it's the same way. We're not losing, we know the consequences when we go into it. Go and ask my fucking best friend, okay? Fucking, or me for that matter, okay? If a guy is hot and I want to fuck him raw, I'm going to fuck him raw. That's it. Like, and it isn't just about him, it's about me too. Because obviously condoms are awful. So if it's equal mentality, like, but we think about what's gonna happen. If I have sex with them raw, there's a possibility I could.
Are you telling them to pull out? Be honest.
Not for the record.
So you gotta you gonna
depends who it is.
You gonna put a gusher in you, right?
Yeah, it depends who it is.
Right.
Okay, so.